Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name's VinPF, and on today's episode we're going to be doing another unboxing of the Dram Team. For those of you who haven't caught these videos already, I'll do a monthly unboxing of a subscription service that I'm a member of, and these guys, they charge about sort of £30 in the UK, something like £28–30 in the UK, and they send out 5 samples and a little wee bonus dram every month of their choosing, and I've been a member of theirs for coming up on nearly 3 years now, so personally I think it's good value, but hopefully you will too. But let's get into this box and see what we've got this month, because it's always a nice surprise. It's a nice day to get some whiskey. Still on trusty Leatherman, let's say. We're on trusty pen, now we're on trusty Leatherman, and I am working on a whiskey knife of some description, so that should be pretty cool. But let's get in here without damaging the contents too much if we can. Probably a much easier way of doing that, and we'd make a lot of noise while we're doing this as well. Just rip it off and get in there, throw that away. Nice little packaging, and for me it doesn't quite fit through my letterbox, but my letterbox is surprisingly small, so I think most people should be alright. I have to go and pick it up from the guys in the post office. Get rid of that as well. All recyclable. Okay. Here we are. So again, if you don't know, you get a nice little box like this. Open this up and you get the whiskies presented quite nicely, I think, in it. So this month we have new malt order. Interesting. Let's have a look to see what they say about that. New malt order. In this box we embark on a spirited exploration of malt whiskies from around the world, with many brilliant distilleries on the up outside of Scotland. We are witnessing a rise of a new malt order. This is the tastiest way to find out. Cheers. So it looks like we've got some stuff that isn't Scottish whiskey. Interesting. Now, as always, we get this little tiny wee dram here. This is a 10ml sample, a 1 sil, and this is like, it's what they call like an added bonus, if you like. So they could probably easily charge the going rate for these 5 whiskies for their 25ml. But they add this in as a little bonus to you, and usually the whiskies are around about £150 each. What I'll do is I'll put this in a glass waiting here with coin number 138 underneath it, on top of it, and sometimes they're a bit stiff. We'll pour that in there and we'll enjoy that together. I like to try the 6th sample pretty much straight away, because there's no real point keeping these. Now they are some special whiskies, we'll go through that later. They are some special whiskies usually, but otherwise you're just going to have all these tiny little samples. You know, you can't critically assess that, so may as well just try it as soon as you get into the box, right? Anyway, let's see what we've got in the actual box this month and see if we've got anything interesting. Well, we do, straight away. The Mackmyra Apple Blom. Now, I've actually covered this on the channel already, so if you're interested in Mackmyra Swedish whiskey, then make sure you go and check out that. I'll put a link up here and in the description below. But I was one of the first in the UK to get my hands on that, so that was pretty awesome. Yeah, go and check out that video. It's aged in, kind of finished, I guess, in Calvados cask, so it's got a real nice apple finish to it. Next up, we've got the Forest Whiskey Blend number 2. That's interesting. That's English whiskey, that is. That's interesting because, in fact, yeah, my wife's actually, yeah, it's so handy, it's just there, isn't it? My wife's just finished this Forest Gin. Really nice, kind of like porcelain ceramic kind of vibe bottle. Really hard to see when you've finished. Like if you're running out or anything like that, you have to kind of like play it by sound. And I guess the Forest whiskey is basically the same. I think it's in a black bottle instead. So I'm very interested to try that out, and I do need to get up to their distillery at some point. So there you go, I have a sample of that. I'll bring that to the channel some point in the future. Next up, we've got some Irish whiskey, and this is Teeling Brabazon Bottling Series 1. Don't know anything about that at all, so I'll do my research on that before I cover that on the channel. Why not? Now this one, wow, okay. This is very interesting to me because this is the number 9 distillery, the 9 Springs Triple Cask German single malt whiskey. Now I haven't got any German whiskey. I've never tried a German whiskey before, so I'll be very interested to bring that to the channel and get that Germany scratched off on the map up there. we'll do that. And last but not least, we have the Unpeated. Now, I have covered this one as well, which I thought it was really good. Penderyn have got it's a Welsh whiskey, and they've got a very interesting characteristic flavour. And it does put some people off, to be honest. It does put some people off, but not me. I'm a big fan of their flavour profile. Their distillery is amazing. They've got this really interesting still. Definitely worth checking them out. And that one there is their peated version, aged in, I think, Lefroy quarter casks, but I could be wrong. Anyway, check out my review of that. I'll put a link up there. I think it's pretty good, and I was very interested in that. So that means I've got two here that I don't have to save for the channel. I can enjoy them myself. Maybe I'll even give them to a friend or two. Who knows? We'll see. We'll put them together. So before we finish up, let's get a look at the final dram. Now, as I said before, these are all 25ml whiskies. This is a 10ml whiskey. This is an Indian whiskey, the Paul John Single Cask Unpeated Cask 4611. I would bring that right up to the camera, but I guarantee it won't show up, so we won't do that. But we'll put a picture up somewhere maybe. Now, this is a stonking 60%. So it says on my little bottle. In fact, let's get the little card out so you can see what kind of stuff you get. You get these really nice cards with it. This is the kind of thing you'll get. Hopefully that's not getting bleached out by my light. Paul John. And you get a load of descriptions on here. This one's basically saying it's a UK exclusive. I won't go into this because it's got some tasty notes, things like that. So I'll have a little nose of it, shall I? Now actually, I did just catch my eye. This is only 7 years old. And it'll be natural coloured because the Indian climate really does accelerate the aging process. Oh wow, that's got a really nice nose on it. Super tropical. Loads of vanilla, loads of honey. When I say tropical, we're talking about things like bananas. Some citrusy stuff as well. Let's try on the palate. Whew! Okay, well, let me tell you, if you've picked up a pack of this and you're trying this along with me maybe, or even later, do cleanse your palate first with an opener whiskey of some kind of 40%, something that you really enjoy, because that's the first whiskey I've had today, and that is a beast of a whiskey. 60%, not to be taken lightly. Oh, it's got huge amounts of oak to it. I'm really struggling to find some flavours behind the ABV, but it's mostly more of those honeys, more of those. Oh, what's that? I've just picked out some. It's almost like a coffee kind of flavour right at the back. You can see this is why I don't do live tastings very often. Usually when I review a whiskey, I've tried it off camera, made my decisions, and then I'm bringing it to you. But as you can see, it's quite hard to pick stuff out like on the fly. Really nice. It's so complex that I could probably do a big old review of that if I had more. Obviously, I would hardly ever review something of that kind of tiny. I'd need to spend at least a sample size on it, but there you go. That's me talking about the Dram Team for another month. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you check out the Dram Team if you're in the UK. Unfortunately, if you're not in the UK, you can't pick this up just yet, but hopefully you'll be able to pick up something like this in your home country. Maybe it's worth Googling subscription services in your area. And I know in America and Canada, you're going to really struggle with stuff like this because the laws really prohibit the movement of alcohols and spirits specifically across states and things like that. So it's just a massive struggle. But unfortunately, it's a struggle for you guys. I get it. It really helps with my channel, and hopefully you guys enjoy these drams and the content just like this. Hopefully you will